Now, we're not going to get this back. We're recognizing that this is an expendable. And so the reason for putting a parachute on it is not because we're hoping to save it and get it back. It's just mainly for safety's sake. So once we let this thing go, there's no way we're going to be getting it back. So any questions on the propulsion side of things? We'll get the battery fired up. By the way, underneath, this is an antenna. And so you can think of this as a mini radio station. And so we're basically going to be on the air as soon as I connect the battery. So this is a little boom arm that has our temperature and moisture information. And I need to be careful because there are some fragile soldering points there. And I open the side door, and inside that side door then is a 4 AA battery pack. And for me, the toughest part of this whole thing is trying to connect this tiny little battery terminal into the proper port here on the side. So if you're coordinated, it's not a problem. If you're not so coordinated, it's a little bit more of a challenge. I'm somewhere in between. Alright, and now I know I've connected it because you can see that inside there's a little light that's indicating the battery has been connected. And so that's one way of knowing that I've connected the battery. Now, these are broadcasting somewhere around 403 megahertz. So that's capital M, capital H, lowercase z. 403 megahertz. Each sound has an option to go slightly higher or slightly lower around 403 megahertz. And that's because you might have a local broadcast antenna interfering. It shouldn't be because this is a protected wavelength band, but something might be interfering with it. So that's one reason that you might want to switch to a slightly different frequency. The other reason is you might want to do more than one balloon launch at a time. If you're under a rapidly changing situation that you want to capture, you might do a balloon launch every hour, in which case there would be overlapping balloons ascending up into the air. So this allows me to have simultaneous balloon launches. I'm putting it on the lowest frequency, and that's what we're going to go with. And so now I know that it's working. The light is blinking red, which is a good sign. On my software over here on the bottom, I can see that the peak is the signal is being picked up by my antenna, which is outside. And by the way, if you want to just take a quick look outside, most of you probably saw the tripod, and there's 2 cables coming out from underneath the tripod. One of those cables is talking to the GPS satellites nearby, and the other cable is actually receiving the signal from this. So the thinner coax cable is receiving information from the GPS satellites, and the thicker coax cable is receiving the signal from this. And both are going through the same green antenna on top of the tripod. Alright, so I know that everything has been connected properly, so I'm going to reassemble. Again, I'm going to try to be as careful as I can to keep the temperature and moisture sensor out of harm's way as I reassemble things.